Kayla. Welcome back to my channel. Here we talk about all things Disney as well as how to plan your Walt Disney World vacation. So if that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. Congratulations! You made it to the last video in our in-depth budgeting mini-series. Today we are going to be talking about all of basically the things that we haven't talked about yet. So I call this my extras or miscellaneous category. This is kind of our catch-all for just some of those random things that didn't necessarily fit in the other categories. So let's get started. Alright, so number one, this is probably the most important thing in this category, and that is souvenirs. Duh. You want to buy stuff when you go on your trip, at least something to help you just kind of commemorate the occasion or just remember your trip by, whether that's an ornament, a t-shirt, or whatever. You got all kinds of stuff. So you want to make sure that you have a pretty good idea of what you're wanting to budget for this. My best tip to know how to budget for this, it honestly just depends on you and your family and how much you guys normally spend on souvenirs and merchandise. What I like to do is go on the Shop Disney website beforehand and kind of look at the types of items that I might be wanting and just getting an idea of how much those things will cost so I can kind of work that in. So like Spirit jerseys are normally $60, ears are usually like $30, t-shirts usually are about like $25 or so. Things like that. So it's good to just kind of have an idea, not necessarily specifically what you want, but just an idea of how much those types of items may cost. The amount you budget for this is honestly totally up to you. It really just depends on what you guys like to spend. Some people may only get like one thing and other people might go crazy like we did. But you know, everybody's different. You just have to decide for yourself what is going to be best for you and your family. All right, and number two, memory maker. I love Memory Maker, and I have a video coming out in a few weeks of that's going to be all about that. But basically, this is pretty easy. It's a pretty flat price. I want to say it's like $169-ish. It's something like that. Check it on the Disney website because I know it's a different price than if you buy it before than if you buy it on your trip. Buy it beforehand, please. It'll save you money. We just have it with our annual pass, so I'm not sure exactly how much that is. Make sure you budget for that if you are planning on using that. Yes, again, the cast members will use your camera, so that's totally fine if you don't want to pay for it. However, there are some of the character locations that now have the boxes, like the photo box thing, so they don't actually have a cast member taking pictures. So you will probably have to use Memory Maker if you are planning on using that. So just something to keep in mind. All right, and number three, gratuities. Now we did talk about this a little bit in the last video when we were talking about food, which if you missed that, I'll put the link above. But gratuities is not just for your food. You do also need to tip your like bellhops, if you do any ride sharing services, if you have for mousekeeping, any of those things that you may need to tip for. Usually we'll budget like $100 for that. That's usually more than enough, but usually I also like to have that in cash. Preferably in smaller bills. That way I can leave a few dollars out for mousekeeping. I can have a few dollars cash for like minivans and Ubers and things like that. It's just good to have that little bit of cash for those. All right, number four, and that is your vacation wardrobe. A lot of people don't necessarily think of this, but if you're not somebody that lives in Florida, you may find yourself needing to buy some different things, different types of clothes. Obviously, this is gonna cover like if you guys are wanting to get fun Disney shirts like matching shirts to wear, but if you also need things like new pairs of shorts or sunglasses or hats or things like that, it's good to have some money allotted so that way you're not having to try and figure out how to work that into your normal everyday budget. It's nice to have just that little bit of extra specifically for your vacation wardrobe. Don't go crazy with this. You don't need to be spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but it's good to have just a little bit of money in case, like I said, you guys want to get some matching Disney t-shirts or something like that. All right, and my last one, and that is your emergency fund. I know I have mentioned this several times throughout all of the videos, but it is so important to have an emergency fund even when you go on vacation. There's so many different things that can pop up that you may just not have thought might happen, or something, maybe an illness, or your car breaks down, or there's so many things that this could be used for. Now, if you wanted to have like individualized emergency funds like we've talked about in the videos, like one for food and one for travel, and cool, that's fine, you can do that. Or you can put it all in this category and have just like a good lump sum of a couple $100s just to have as that buffer in case you go over on a category, or like I said, there's an illness or something happens. Usually what we use this for is because we go over on food and souvenirs, because the impulse buying is very hard to resist. This also comes in handy too, like if maybe your flights get delayed or canceled because of weather and you end up having to stay an extra day. Oh my gosh, like that can get very expensive very quickly. So it's good to have that money for just those weird situations like that. It may seem unnecessary to you and you may not even use it, and guess what? That is okay. But imagine what would happen if you got down there and heaven forbid something did happen and you didn't have that money. That stresses me out just thinking about it. So be prepared. Just have a little bit of money just to have in case of those emergencies, big or small. That way you're not having to stress about it on your vacation, because that is honestly the last thing that you want to do while you're trying to enjoy and relax on your vacation, is worry about money. Don't worry about it. Just do it beforehand and you'll be great. All right, congrats, you made it to the end. That is it. That is all I have for you on how to budget for your Walt Disney World vacation. If you missed any of the videos that I've done earlier in this series, I will have those in the cards at the end. I'll have those in the description below, so make sure you go check those out. If you have any questions for me or any tips on how you like to budget, make sure you leave those down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you please give it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing, as I do content like this all the time where we talk about budgeting for Disney and just fun Disney unboxings, and I vlog our trips, and we do all kinds of fun stuff here. So if you enjoy that and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, and then that's it. We will see you guys next time. Bye.